Welcome once again to Param classes, and today we are going to talk about very important topic from molecular basis of inheritance, and that is translation process. In last video we have discussed about translation process in detail. So before starting with translation, we need to understand basic requirements that are essential for translation to take place. So the basic requirement, that is machinery for protein synthesis, is going to be your DNA, amino acids, RNAs, ribosomes and various type of enzymes. As we know that central dogma of protein synthesis says DNA is transcribed into mRNA, and information in the mRNA, that is the sequences present on mRNA, will decide particular sequence and order of amino acids that is going to be joined together to form polypeptide chain. That means DNA to mRNA formation is transcription, and from mRNA to protein formation is translation. And who is deciding this amino acids to be joined together? Sequences present on mRNA decides as to which amino acids and in which order they will be brought together, and a polypeptide chain would be synthesized. And this process of polypeptide chain, that is protein formation, is termed as translation, right? Okay. So in machinery for protein synthesis we will deal with DNA. It has no direct role to play in translation. Already we have seen in transcription. तरी सुद्धा आपण इथे याला मेन्शन का करतोय, कारण DNA पासून काय तयार झाला होता आपला ट्रान्सक्रिप्शननी. फ्रॉम DNA there was synthesis of mRNA by transcription process. Once again I am repeating these things. Now in DNA there was presence of triplets which were termed as codogenes, or that is simply biochemical code or genetic code. It is present in the form of triplet, and information, genetic information is stored in this biochemical code or genetic code. Now this information will be brought to mRNA, or it will be transcribed to mRNA. That is why this process is termed as transcription. So DNA acting as a specificity control in this case. How come? There in our cell there is a presence of different types of proteins. Now whatever the proteins are going to be synthesized in a later process of translation, exactly similar protein need to be synthesized. I will repeat, whatever the proteins are present in your cell, similar kind of proteins need to be synthesized. That is why information from DNA need to be transcribed to mRNA, so that these genes would specify particular amino acid and particular protein, that is exactly similar protein, will be synthesized as it was present in the cell. Clear this? That is why we say that your DNA act as specificity control, right? Now second thing is, DNA structure is double stranded. It is more or less stable. That is why whatever the protein is going to be synthesized is similar to the newly synthesized protein. That is why we are saying it act as specificity control, right? Okay. Next, RNAs are required. Now in RNA, mRNA, we will talk about mRNA. Information from DNA transcribes to mRNA during the process of transcription once again. Now when in case of eukaryote, particularly we are talking about eukaryotic cell. In eukaryotic cell, it requires processes to carry out for its maturation, right? So it has got some regions. This region, red color region, is present at 5' end, and where there is a capping process already taken place. So this is capping. मिथाइल गॉनोजिन ट्रायफॉस्फेट ह्या इथे ॲड झालेला होता. नंतर 3' एंडला पॉलीॲडिनिलेशन झालं होतं, मीन्स ॲडेनिन बेसेस 2-300 ॲडेनिन बेसेस तिथे अटॅच झालेले होते. आता तुम्ही एक ऑब्झर्व कराल तर 5' एंडच्या पुढे हा जो रिजन दिसतोय तुम्हाला ग्रीन कलरमध्ये, दिस इज टर्म्ड ॲज अनट्रान्सलेटेड रिजन. Untranslated region, that means the sequences in this region will not be utilized for protein synthesis. Untranslated region. Similar is the region present before 3' end. Now as these two regions are present, it must have some function to perform. During evolutionary time, if it had no function to perform, right, जर याला या अनट्रान्सलेटेड रिजनला जर कुठला फंक्शन करायचं नसला तर इव्होल्युशनरी प्रोसेसमध्ये it would have been eliminated. हे एलिमिनेट झालं असतं किंवा ड्युरिंग अकॉर्डिंग टू डार्विन नॅचरल सिलेक्शनच्या वेळी द हू इज फिट दॅट वुड बी सर्वाइव्ड, हे हा जो फिनॉमिनन आहे त्यावेळी जर हा युसलेस रिजन असता तर हा एलिमिनेट झाला असता. क्लिअर दिस. परंतु हा काहीतरी फंक्शनल रोल याचा असणार, दॅट्स वाय इट इज स्टील प्रेझेंट इन युअर transcribed mRNA. So what is the function of UTR at 5 prime end? It has some sequences present in this 5 prime UTR मध्ये काही sequences present आहेत which will help the smaller subunit of ribosome to bind with it during the translation process. ट्रान्सलेशन प्रोसेस होते वेळी जेव्हा रायबोझोमल सबयुनिट त्याला अटॅच होणार आहेत तेव्हा याच्यामध्ये काही सिक्वेन्स प्रेझेंट आहेत. ते सिक्वेन्स विल हेल्प दोज रायबोझोमल युनिट टू अटॅच टू mRNA. दॅट इज द फंक्शन असाइन टू UTR प्रेझेंट ॲज 5 prime end. सेकंडली 3 prime UTR. या UTR मध्ये देर आर सम सिक्वेन्सेस विच हेल्प इन टर्मिनेशन ऑफ ट्रान्सलेशन प्रोसेस. अँड सेकंड थिंग इट ऑल्सो helps in post-transcriptional events. Two functions, one function of this 3 prime UTR is termination of translation, one thing. Second thing, post-transcriptional events are taken care by these 3 prime UTR, right? So this is about your UTR. So these are untranslated and this region, it is a translation unit, means actual polypeptide synthesis is going to take place in this region, that is from start codon and stop codon. That's why we say that this translation unit or structural part of that mRNA is flanked between start and stop codon. Meaning हा जो ट्रान्सलेशन युनिट आहे जिथे पॉलिपेप्टाइड चेन किंवा प्रोटीन तयार होणार आहे, तर तो जो युनिट तो जो एरिया असेल हा कुणाच्या मध्ये प्रेझेंट आहे, स्टार्ट कोडॉन आणि स्टार्ट कोडॉन आणि स्टॉप कोडॉन, आय मीन, राईट. ओके, सो दिस इज अबाउट द ट्रान्सलेशन युनिट. नेक्स्ट इज युअर tRNA. tRNAचं स्ट्रक्चर नॉर्मली क्लोरलीफ मॉडेल वी स्टडी फॉर दिस. This looks somewhat like this. This is 3 prime end, sorry, this is 5 prime end, this is 3 prime end. At 3 prime end there is a presence of OH group and it has some sequence that is CCA, and to this 3 prime end there is a association of amino acid. आता या tRNA मध्ये जेव्हा what is the function of tRNA? To carry amino acids which are present in your cytoplasmic pool. त्या सायटोप्लाझममध्ये जितके इसेन्शियल अमिनो ॲसिड्स आहेत विच आर रिक्वायर्ड फॉर प्रोटीन सिंथेसिस, दीज विल बी टेकन टू mRNA बाय अटॅचिंग विथ tRNA. म्हणजे tRNA सोबत ते अटॅच होणार आणि तो नंतर mRNA पर्यंत घेऊन येणार, राईट. नाउ दिस एंड इज 5 prime end. At this region there is presence of G base, guanine base, and this arm is called as DHU arm. This is T-Cy-C arm. This is dihydroxyuridine. This is pseudouridine, and this is anticodon site, anticodon loop, you can say. So these 3 loops are present, that is T-Cy-C loop, then anticodon loop, then your DHU loop or arm, we can say. So this is dihydroxyuridine. Now this DHU helps in recognition of amino acids that are going to be attached with this tRNA. म्हणजेच या tRNAला जे अमिनो ॲसिड अटॅच व्हायचे तर ते रेकग्नाइज करायला, ओळखायला दिस आर्म इज गोइंग टू हेल्प. T-Cy-C आर्म इट विल हेल्प इन अटॅचमेंट विथ रायबोझोम. रायबोझोमला अटॅच होण्यामध्ये दिस साइट विल हेल्प. दिस इज anticodon loop, that means this is your mRNA. These are codons present on mRNA, so codon anticodon pairing will be there, right? So this arm will pair with the codons present on mRNA. I mean the sequences which are present on mRNA, it's a complementary sequences will be combining during this process, right? So anticodon loop, it forms complementary base pairing with mRNA, and this is variable arm, the function of which is unknown, right? Okay, so we'll brief it again. DHU arm, T-Cy-C arm, anticodon arm, 3 arms are there. Variable arm, function of which is unknown. Then it has 5 prime end, 3 prime end. At 3 prime end there is presence of OH group to which amino acid is going to attach by, it's a COOH group. COOH group हा amino acid मध्ये present असतो. It is present in amino acid. It will form bond with OH and it will associate with tRNA. Then G end at which there is a guanine base present, right? Next, now we have seen mRNA, tRNA. Next is your rRNA, that is we will see the structure of ribosome. Well, ribosome. Basically, ribosome is made up of two subunits. Now, these two subunits, one is larger one and second is a smaller. Large and small subunits are there. In case of prokaryotes, larger unit is 50S and smaller is 30S. In case of your eukaryotes, it is 60S and 40S, right? Now, these two subunits remain dissociated from one another before translation. Translation process होण्याच्या अगोदर these smaller and larger subunits are departed or dissociated from one another. But when there is a translation process, it will associate with one another. एकमेकांना हे जोडल्या जातील, right? नंतर second thing, larger shape of this, it is dome shaped and this is ellipsoidal shaped. Ellipsoidal shaped. And the smaller subunit forms cap over this larger subunit. Now, when very first during translation process, small subunit of ribosome is going to attach to mRNA. Later on, this larger subunit will attach to smaller subunit, that is 30S in case of prokaryote and 40S in case of eukaryotes. Now, when both of them are associated with one another, there is a formation of some groove. आपण एक रफ डायग्राम काढतोय. फॉर एक्झाम्पल दिस इज लाईक दिस इज ग्रूव, म्हणजे इथे एक खाच तयार झाली आहे, ठीक आहे. आणि हीच खाच आता इट विल हेल्प रायबोझोम टू स्लाइड ओव्हर mRNA. mRNAच्या वरती याला स्लाइड करायला इट विल हेल्प अँड इट विल फॉर्म सम टनेल. आणि हा जो ग्रूव असेल, लार्जर सबयुनिटमध्ये जो ग्रूव प्रेझेंट असेल, जी खाच प्रेझेंट असेल, दॅट विल open into tunnel of larger subunit, and this tunnel is going to open into ER, endoplasmic reticulum, right? आता ही endoplasmic reticulum मध्ये ओपन का होते? बिकॉज रायबोझोमल सबयुनिटला वेगवेगळे पार्ट असतील, ठीक आहे. दे स्मॉलर सबयुनिट, दिस इज स्मॉलर वन, दिस इज लार्जर वन. तो स्मॉलर इट हॅज साइट फॉर अटॅचमेंट विथ mRNA. mRNA याला अटॅच व्हायला इथे साइट प्रेझेंट आहे and it has three sites, that is A site, amino acid site, it is P site, that is peptidyl site, and E recently discovered site, that is E site, that is exit site. Means in all there are 4 sites present on this ribosome, that is on larger subunit, A site for entry of amino acids, P site for peptide chain release, and E site for release of your tRNAs, right? And site present on the smaller subunit is for attachment with the mRNA. So we were talking about the tunnel formation and which opens into ER. आता polypeptide chain जेव्हा तयार होणार, when there would be synthesis of polypeptide chain during this process, this polypeptide chain will pass through this tunnel and it will reach to ER. Why is it so? Because there is presence of some cellular enzymes. So to protect that polypeptide chain or newly synthesized protein from the action of these cellular enzymes, it needs to pass through this way and to reach endoplasmic reticulum, right? Now, there may be presence of more than one ribosomes on single mRNA. जर एकापेक्षा जास्त रायबोझोम जर mRNA वरती प्रेझेंट असतील, तर दॅट ॲक्टिव्ह रायबोझोम इज कॉल्ड ॲज पॉलीरायबोझोम or polysome. Now the distance between these ribosomes on mRNA is decided, and distance between mRNAs would be 3.4 nanometer, and again the number of ribosomes that are going to be associated with mRNA would be decided by the length of mRNA. That I will repeat, whatever the length of mRNA is there, accordingly considering this 3.4 nanometer distance and size of your ribosome, only according to the length of mRNA, number of ribosomes would be associated with this mRNA. Well, so this is about the ribosomes and this is how they are going to associate with mRNA. Now, what is the function of ribosome here? Ribosomes are termed as protein factories. Well, Why these are called as protein factories? Because there is synthesis of polypeptide chain. Now ribosome, another function of ribosome is to keep associated with the various structures present in translation or various components of translation, that is various enzymes are present, enzymes, mRNA, tRNA, all these structures need to be kept associated, and that is function is performed by your ribosome. Clear this? Well, now next, amino acid. We have talked about this, around 20 essential amino acids are required for this, आणि हे सगळे essential amino acids are present in your cytoplasmic pool. These remain scattered in inactive stage, which will be activated by utilizing the energy source, that is ATP. We will discuss it in translation process, right? Then is, okay, we have covered all the points which are required to understand the part second of translation, that is actual process of translation. So hope that you must understand this. So in next video, that is part 2 of translation, we will discuss entire or detailed process of translation. Thank you very much.